Ferrari. Coach, we'll begin with you. An opening statement, please.
Well, it was a tough one for us tonight. I thought, Gonzaga is obviously a very good team, being the number one seed and nationally ranked, and you're not going to be able to take away everything from them. And they came out, I think they were 7 for 7 or 7 on their first 8. And we made a little flurry there and kind of felt like I thought we were actually playing pretty well early in the game offensively, and you just got to hope you get some stops, and we didn't. And they just we couldn't really chip away the whole night. And credit to them, they kept playing, and they had a lot of good performance from guys. But we learned the hard way, got ourselves in this semifinal game, and they're used to being here. Probably know how to handle themselves in that day in between, whatever. I think we did too, but we just there's one thing you got to be there, and hopefully we'll benefit from that moving forward.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take questions from media members. I'd like to start with questions for Frankie first, please. We'll come to Rusty in the front. Let us know your name and affiliation.
Rusty, 76. Frankie, I saw all 5 of the starters sitting there at the end of the game, side by side. What were you guys thinking? What were you soaking up?
I think the last 8 games we've made a good push as a unit. Obviously, I think we won 6 out of 8 or 6 out of 9 tonight. So I think, our chemistry was at a sky high at the end of the year, and I think it's something to build on and something to look forward to the future. So I think that was what we were looking at.
So I was going to ask you, do you take any solace knowing that over that 5 that we want to see most of you guys are coming back?
Yeah, I think just as a whole, we're a young group, like you said, 1 senior. So we have a foundation to build on, and I look forward to it. So.
We'll go over here to John on our right, and Nate Renfro is joining us now as well.
John Krumbacher, West Coast Conference Sports. To Frankie again, as a competitor, what is it like when Gonzaga is playing the way it did in that first half, when you're seeing just shot after shot after shot go in? Is it at all demoralizing when you're on the court playing, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously hard, and to beat a team like that, you kind of have to start strong, and we didn't. And looking at the total, giving up 88 points, it's hard to win. And give them credit, they did shoot well, but we could have had a better effort on defense as well. So.
Additional questions for student athletes, Rusty?
Frankie, we've seen you and Jordan have so many good games this year. Tonight, a tough shooting night. Was it something they were doing to you guys defensively, or just kind of one of those nights?
Give them credit, they did defend well. I felt like, me personally, I missed some open shots that I normally do make, and I am satisfied with the shot selection, but sometimes that's just how the game goes. So.
Come back to John.
Yeah, I'll ask Nate the same question I asked Frankie. What is it like for you on the court when Gonzaga is playing at a peak level like it did in that first half? What's going through your mind?
The biggest thing for me, being a captain on this team, is just trying to keep the guys' heads in it. It's tough when they're shooting whatever they shot from the field. I know they shot it pretty well, but it's some guys get discouraged, and so my job is, even for myself, is to just try to keep our heads in it. And it was pretty hard tonight to do that, and it showed.
We'll also take questions for Coach Smith, as well as additional questions for student athletes from the media. Rusty?
Coach, even with the way Gonzaga was playing, at least from the outside, it didn't look like you guys ever backed down. Is that the way you saw the game?
I think we hung our heads a little bit there, but we stayed with what we tried to do, and that's all you can do. And I'm telling you, Nate Renfro and Frankie's been doing a good job, and I got some really good leaders, and they'll fight, and they'll stay when they're very coachable. Sometimes I dare say too coachable, and it's just a good thing, and I'll take them that way. They believe. So, like I said, a little bit it's a hat tip tonight. Like Tilly's 10 for 10 in 2 games, and I don't know if I've seen that ever that I can recall. 10 straight through. What's the record? What's the NCAA record for most consecutive threes? It's the research. Fontenot, where are you? Get on it. All right. So that's when someone's, and they got other good players too.
Other questions, John?
Yeah, Kyle, you said the other day, a couple days ago, that you rely on analytics, to determine who plays according to the matchups and situations. I think tonight you played pretty much everybody, 12 guys. Is that part of the analytics as well, or are you just trying to see?
A little bit. You got to put they put you in a bind because they'll throw some lineups up there that are just really big, and I think that's when they go Tilly, Williams, and Hachimura. You just don't see that very often, and I think if in a little stretch they caught us out there a little small, and they kind of got they had their way a little bit there. So that's more a function of who they put on the floor than those three. And then just when I thought we just looked a little fatigued. I don't know if the overtime game. And Jordan's a good barometer because Jordan's going to give you a great effort every night. And I just felt like Jordan was, I think it was hard for him to get a shot. He had a couple breakdowns defensively that usually not. So I was like, we got some good players that have been playing, so I thought fresh legs would help. And they did. But again, Gonzaga just kept coming.
Any other questions for San Francisco? Thank you.
All righty.